everyone, Reynoso here with a video of me trying to land a blunt to fakie. Now this one's a little weird because anyone that can do a blunt to fakie on a quarter pipe would probably say that it's really not that difficult of a trick. But for me, I've been kind of struggling with it for a while just because I have a little habit of ollieing into it, as you can probably see. That's one of the big parts of it that kind of make it difficult for me, because I can't just ride into the blunt. I've tried to do it and it just doesn't work for me. The ollie just seems so much more comfortable, so that's one of the reasons why I've been struggling with the trick a lot. And I stuck it twice just then. Yeah, I mean, the first one I took a pretty bad fall, and then right there I went to fakie, and then I kind of fell down and kind of reverted it out. And I've been struggling with this trick for a while. It's funny because the first time I did this trick was on a smaller quarter pipe, and it didn't take much effort. Obviously, it was a smaller quarter pipe with mellower transition. But when I'm trying it on a quarter pipe of this size, which isn't really all that large really, but I think over the years my transitional skills has kind of dulled, or I've just never really had the ability, or let's say the chance or the opportunity to really work on quarter pipe tricks. I have some tricks that I can do that are kind of different than most, I would say, but I don't really skate transition all that much in general, because I focus on so many other things that it tends to take a backseat. And me falling like that is a pure example of that, because I'm struggling just to do a blunt to fakie on the quarter pipe. But needless to say, this is just a video of me just kind of going through the motions and explaining the process of what it took to get there. And it's funny because I actually quit. This video is about 30. It's probably going to be shorter than 30 minutes. I was thinking it was going to be a 30-minute video, but I try not to make videos too long just because I'm kind of new to the YouTube thing, and I'm not trying to make extensive content yet. And this is the first video where I'm actually doing something like this. That's actually explaining the process or having a trick challenge, which is something that I'm going to be doing a lot of, hopefully, once I get into the groove of things. It's just trick challenges, and I aim to do challenges that are going to be difficult and tricks that aren't going to be as simple. So this one will be the first, and it's a simple one, but like I said, it kind of makes it a little different because I'm ollieing into the blunt, which brings so many different variables into the mix. One of the biggest problems I have with the blunt is my back foot always ends up in the pocket of the tail instead of being straight on flat, like let's say across the entirety of the tail, which kind of makes it harder to pop out sometimes, or even to lock in. So that was an issue I was seeking to correct here, and I was kind of getting the hang of it and kind of fixing that. See, like right there, the reason why that didn't even lock in was because my foot was too far into the corner of the tail and it slid right off. Another issue with the ollieing in is obviously I can ollie in a little too much, so I might go over coping, and my board was kind of going over the coping a lot, and kind of going over the edge. So those are two things that could go wrong. And of course, sometimes I was telling myself I needed to maybe under pop it so I can get a better lock in, which resulted in a lot of rock to fakies, kind of like accidental rock to fakies, or that trick, what's it called, the staple gun trick maneuver. So just a lot of things that go wrong with the process, or the way I do my blunts to fakie, which of course isn't ideal, because the other way makes it easier to lock in, and therefore making the hard part about it not the lock-in, but the pulling it back to fakie can be very terrifying, which is what was scaring me as well. Like, even when I locked in proper, I still couldn't really kind of put my feet down proper, kind of like on that one. I just wasn't ready to fully commit all the way to that. And then There's also the fact that I I was incorporating my back foot into it a lot more than my front foot, so I wasn't really trying to ollie. Like right there, that was a prime example. I actually slid the front foot forward like an ollie, and that's what gets me kind of clearing the coping and ready to go to fakie. But as you just saw, I slipped off my board right away because I actually wasn't really expecting that. So for this trick, I have to be ready, fully committed to just ride it out and just go straight to fakie. And that was one of the toughest parts that I was having with this trick, especially on a quarter pipe of this size, which is not very large, but it's not very small either. It's just kind of regular, but it's not. I don't really skate quarter pipes of that size daily. So I wasn't. I'm not very consistent at my quarter pipe tricks, and I'm generally not a very consistent skater in general. Because of the tricks I tend to do, it requires a lot of effort. So, and I don't really do tricks on a consistent or daily. Let's say I do some tricks to warm up, but I'm not doing the same trick every day all the time. So my consistency tends to suffer from that. So it's one of those things where it's kind of, would you rather have a lot of tricks that you can kind of like a deep bag of tricks that you can select from on any given day and just take a little bit of time to kind of get that trick done? Or would you rather just have a shallower bag of tricks with a whole lot of consistency because you do the same tricks all the time kind of thing? I'm also not generally kind of like I would say anyone who can pull off basic tricks and make them look nice and all that and just kind of have a high consistency level. Those are generally like the contest skaters, right? The guys that can just pull off trick after trick after trick and just keep it moving. I would say I'm more of a content skater. You give me an X amount of time, you give me a trick to try, and I'm going to either get super close and kind of figure out what I need to do for the next time, or I tend to get it, but it tends to take anywhere from half an hour to an hour of time, which I'm willing to do because again, I'm just a content guy, so I'm not really too worried about how long it takes because I'm also very determined when it comes to tricks like this. Like if it's something that I can't figure out or something that I have gotten close to in the past and I've kind of gone away from it, I'm gonna get it no matter what. And this video is technically, if I were to post it in its entirety, it would be over an hour and a half. And it's funny because I actually stopped. I quit. I told myself that, I stuck it 3 times. I know what I need to do, and I just need to kind of go back to it the next day and just get it. But then somebody at the park, a friend of mine said, hey, just give it just one more try. He said, give it one more try. And then I said, okay, well, if you want one more try, you might as well film it for me, because at that point I had taken the tripod off, put it in my bag and all that, and I was like, and it's just one last try, right? So it's not going to even take 1 minute for you to film me. So he finally agreed, and then we walked over, and then it's hilarious because literally I got it in that try, which is great. Which you'll most likely see at the end of the video. It's going to be the one try, and that was after I had quit, after the hour and a half, the grueling hour and a half, and kind of the bails that I took, because I took some pretty bad bails. I don't know what's going on here, why I'm not trying right now. Maybe I'm talking to somebody off screen there for a little bit or something. Oh, there we go, and it slipped right off. So yeah, these will be some of the attempts, because I'm not trying to bore anybody that's gonna actually watch this. And we've already most likely seen the best attempts already. See right there, right? My foot was in the pocket of the board, so that's what kind of sabotaged me from the beginning. I wasn't gonna be able to put my back foot on there in time. And yeah, these are the types of videos I'm aiming to do. It's just trick challenges. This one's more of the simple tricks. I have some other stuff I have in mind that I'm definitely going to want to try. So, you know, if you like this kind of content, I'm gonna try to also, like I said, I'm aiming to do different tricks and more difficult tricks that maybe you won't see on, let's say, any other channel. You might, but I doubt it, because most of the people that do the trick challenges are either kind of like flat ground tricks or whatever, or they're trying to teach you how to do a certain trick. So hopefully the content will be different enough that it'll be at least somewhat interesting. But with that being said, I think I'm just gonna stop talking now, and I'm gonna post a clip of me landing the trick. And I will say this: when I finally landed it, I still wasn't really satisfied with it, because for me, when I do a trick, it's kind of an all or nothing mentality. It's either it looks really good and it's like essentially mostly flawless, or I won't accept it at all. And I think this is one of those cases where I kind of met it in the middle, because of the authenticness of what happened when my friend said, give it one more go, and he filmed me, and I literally did it in one try after an hour and a half, which is funny. Just took a shit right there. I think this freaking sucks. But anyway, I'll put the clip right here, and if you guys enjoyed the video, or if you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button as well as subscribe. Even if you're not going to watch the content, just be generous, you know, just subscribe and support, you know. I always post, I'll try and post once a week at least for these types of content. It's kind of difficult, but we'll see. I'm trying to get into the groove of this because it's a hobby. So I thoroughly enjoy kind of making this kind of content. And with that being said, let's watch the landing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And also, keep in mind, I'm not a good skater, I'm not a bad skater, I'm just a skater. After an hour and a half, let's see if I'll get it now.
What did I say? What did I say?
Damn. Wow.